Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Comm Box. My name is Tanay Tiwari, and today at the end of India's innings 10 overs, we've got joining us Mr. Ajay Jadeja. Ajay, before I shoot that first question, which is brimming inside me, let me show you the summary scorecard where the game stands at the end of those 10 overs. And India are 62 for 3. Now, Pakistan was 68 for 2. Of course, they kept losing wickets. India have lost Virat Kohli. They've lost Rohit Sharma. Of course, Rahul was dismissed very early. It was a nervy spell initially, but even after that, now that you've lost Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma in quick succession, trouble times?
If you were batting first, you would be, in a dilemma what to do now. Should you hold on? But since you have the total in front and the kind of batting that we still have in the heart, although it's only in the middle what really makes a difference. I don't think there should be such a big problem unless by the time we come off and your curse of combo curse works, because it's wickets in hand at this stage. Runs are not a big issue. Runs have come all through the day. It's never been a trouble for batsmen, but it's wickets in hands.
Correct. And especially with the way the spinners have bowled as well for Pakistan. I mean, we knew that the pacers were going to be a big worry, and they did show that they were going to be a big worry inside that power play. But especially the way Mohammad Nawaz has bowled, he's now gotten both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli out.
Nawaz is a surprise. I mean, he's the one that he's probably least worried about. The team would have been when they would be planning their innings. But, we've got to say, they were smart enough. They played, what you call match-up these days and sent in Ravindra. When he walked out, you would look at it and say, what is this call that they've taken? But it clearly shows that Nawaz either doesn't bowl now next few overs, so which is a plus for you because he'll have to bowl differently at the end, or Ravindra's, taken a toll. And so a good call there by India, you got to say.
Now, AJ, there was a lot of talk about Virat Kohli, and why not? I mean, after that interview, after all that spotlight was on him, he was coming after a break. Did seem scratchy initially, but then towards the end, you saw he was building up, and in my hearts of hearts, I just thought he was going to pace this chase, and I was going to ask that question to you, but that wasn't to be. How did you assess his innings?
I was one of those as well, and I thought he'd almost settled down. He'd settled down. The total was looking. There's a style in which Virat Kohli always has chased these total down. So I was, not at all worried. But when I saw Ravindra walk in, I think that's where it all, there must have been some change in that mindset. And since now we're talking about the mind, that changed. Because initially, yes, he was a little scratchy to start with, which is natural. The way he's, been talking about what's happened to him, it was natural. But he almost seemed like he'd settled down. There was a little calmness in that whole inning that was coming through. But as soon as Ravindra came in, I think you go into this double thoughts. Because you've changed the plan, you sent in a man at the other end, so now your role has been redefined. And I think caught in two minds at that stage. You got to say, it's not something that you see with Virat Kohli. He never throws it away. But, today was a different story.
It was. Now, Ravindra Jadeja and Suryakumar Yadav are batting in the middle. What does Ravindra Jadeja's role from here become? Does he bat till the end, anchor, and let others at the other end, for instance, Suryakumar Yadav, play their game? Or, like we saw right before we came on the comm box, he hit Nawaz for a 6. Does he go the aggressor role?
I think when he's walked in, it's a surprise for me, there's no doubt. But what he's shown in the 5 balls that he's played, and especially against Nawaz, I think it'd probably be a scheme or a thought that, Nawaz is something that you will attack. And except for that, you just carry on. And, I think Ravindra is an experienced player. He's been around for long enough. And he'll understand that game against Pakistan, if you're going well, you shouldn't leave it for anybody. I know there are finishers in this team, but you should not leave it for them. That's what he should be trying to do. But the risk is that how does he approach Nawaz? So when he was walked in, there were only 2 down, you were thinking differently. If there's a wicket that falls on the opposite side, then it's a tricky situation again. But I think we should be okay. Surya is another calming factor. We should be home.
Okay, all right. That'll calm all the Indian fans out there, I'm pretty sure.
I thought I was worried that you got some news.
No. I was about to tell you.
I feel, see, if the wicket, with pressure situation, what happens, the game slows down if the wicket doesn't allow the ball to go to all parts of the ground. What we've seen all through the days, it's never going to be a dull period. And you're not too far from that chase. The 2 guys who are sitting in the hut are not worried about run rates. They both are capable of doing that. So it's about just staying on. And if you stay on for a little while, it'll only get easier. And once the seamers come back on, and if you're still only 3 down, then the runs will flow. It's just that when you have wickets which are slower and balls are not coming on, that's when the singles don't come. In this wicket, I don't think there should be a problem.
All right then, Indian fans, that should calm your nerves. There shouldn't be a problem for Team India. Of course, that's all that we have for you on this installment of Cricbuzz Comm Box. Thank you, Ajay, for joining us. Thank you to all of you as well. We'll, of course, see you at the end of the game with Cricbuzz Live. Thank you.